I published a story on my blog called I'm Lonely, but I'm okay. And the way this blog post came about was because I have to move out of my apartment. And I've lived in this incredible apartment for almost 4 years with a wonderful flatmate, but it's all coming to an end and I have to go out there and find somewhere to live all by myself. When I thought about leaving this place I'm sitting in right now, I thought it would be with a partner. I thought if I ever have to leave here, it's going to be with some amazing partner, we're going to move in together and we're going to live happily ever after. But alas, that is not the case. I'm looking for a place to live and I'm going to probably end up living by myself. So anyway, I wrote this post and I put it on social media and instantly I got tens of responses from people, tens and tens, and writing and emails and comments. Are you okay? Is everything all right? I'm here for you. Don't feel lonely. Please, if you ever need to chat, call me. And I was absolutely overwhelmed with the love and support from people all around the world, people that I'm sort of friends with, best friends, family members, all reaching out. And I thought how wonderful and lovely it is to have people around that when you do feel down and feel a little bit out, that they'll be there for you. Amongst all these messages of support were really interesting stories from men, women, married people, older people, stories about loneliness and their experience with loneliness. And I realized something while I was reading all these comments. I realized that loneliness isn't a feeling that one group or one type of person has a monopoly on. It's not if you're single, it's not if you're older, it's not if you're gay. Everyone at some point in their life has gone through a very similar emotion. And for me that was really empowering. And I realized that we don't talk about these things very often. I realized, looking back at the post, that while I thought it was funny, while I thought it was positive, it alarmed a lot of people. On social media we generally see happy times, we share funny memes, we make fun of our lives in a comical way, we show the glamorous part, we filter things, we edit, we take 1 million selfies to make sure we get the right one. And the result is a completely unrealistic portrayal of what our lives are. So when we do say something that's the contrary, such as I'm feeling lonely, I'm feeling down, it can be quite alarming and people get really concerned. Yet this is something that we all experience. So the purpose of the post was that, exactly that, to trigger a response, to start a conversation, to authentically share something on social media that wasn't all glitz, glamour and happiness. And I'm really glad I did because it made me feel a lot better. Now, the outcome of that was this realization that being in a relationship doesn't suddenly solve all your feelings of loneliness. That you can be in a relationship and you can have children and you can have family, and for whatever reason, probably because it's part of the human experience, you'll feel these emotions of loneliness. And I originally started writing these posts because I wanted to share with gay guys my experience as a gay man so that others who were going through similar things to me didn't feel alone. But what's happened is that people of all sexes and all religions and marital statuses and sexualities have taken my words and felt something or seen something in my posts that's true to them as well. So while feelings of loneliness are universal, I think there are though some experiences as gay men that are quite specific. Some experiences of loneliness that are quite specific to gay men. So for example, I consider myself a social loner. My definition of a social loner is someone who loves being social, who loves going out, who loves being around people, but at the same time needs to retreat back into their own private space in order to re-energize, to get back that spiritual energy that they exhaust being around people. So that's true for me. I love going out, I love traveling, I have some really great friends, but 90% of the time I quite enjoy being on my own, and I'm quite comfortable being on my own. The problem though for gay guys is that so much of our culture and what we see in gay culture is around this notion of being super social, of being a social butterfly, of having lots of friends, of always brunching and traveling and being on boats and being at viewing parties of RuPaul's Drag Race finale. So when you're sitting at home by yourself and you're seeing all these images of 10, 20, 30 guys out at someone's birthday, and you're by yourself, you wonder, well, what's wrong with me? Why don't I have that many friends? Why am I sat alone? One minute you could be completely comfortable in your own environment without anyone around you, and the next minute you're seeing these images or having these feelings based on these images of less than. Because when you see things like that, you start to question, what's wrong with me? But I want you to know that it's absolutely okay to be alone. That while other people might get off being around hundreds of people all the time, tens of people, moving in groups, traveling in groups, you might have one or two friends, and for you that might be enough. You need not play up to the stereotype. You don't need to be at brunch. You don't need to travel with 10 guys to Mykonos. You don't need to be on a boat. You don't need to be at brunch every Sunday. Your joy could come from being one-on-one with someone. It could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be your dog. There's nothing wrong with that. And don't let all these images that you see in gay culture, on social media, dictate how you feel. So please write to me, please share your experiences. I hope to continue sharing how I feel, what's going on in my life. I want to open an authentic and truthful dialogue about all the aspects of life, the good, the bad, the ugly, and I hope that you can share with me too. So please follow me on Instagram @JoshVanZant, read my blog, themonogator.com, and reach out to me there, and together we can talk about it, because when we share these experiences, when we look to each other, there's power.